Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Après ça, le président. Un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui l'a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Après ça, le président.
Day to the beautiful people of the Cameroon, the beautiful people of British Southern Cameroon, a country that had its independence on the 1st of October 1961, and the beautiful people of La Republique du Cameroon, the country that had its independence on the 1st of January 1960. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Katika, don't can talk. Una dey for my bag, go before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndiveli, Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever I come and talk, I am exercising my Article 65 right of the Constitution of La République du Cameroun. It is my right alone. Individual right, not collective right. Because some people in British Southern Cameroon, since 1961, everything, we come together. It is that come together that always kill us, because in a democracy, you need checks and balances. Recently, I see this animator, animateurs, they call it in French, this court jester. They have been doing the same thing over and over again since 1992. Each time, you will never see them. They will never talk about the things that happens in the Cameroons. They will keep quiet. Our streets are dirty, no electricity, no water, bad hospital, corruption. They will sit there every time. When there's election, that's when you hear them. But people like myself, ever since I was a boy, we have been fighting René Zengele not to assimilate our English system of education. We have been fighting for GC, but multipartism, teachers and lawyers, they were beaten. It's because of us, the protests all over the world, they call for a major national dialogue. We have realized that in the Cameroons, it's only peaceful protest that can bring change, not the ballot box. Allow those court gestures. Very soon, October 12th is not too far, rather. October 12th is just at the corner. And after October 12th, they will announce a pre-written result. Guess what? They will come now. Okay, let's focus now on parliamentary election and local election. That's how they live their life. They bring confusion. They confuse every 7 years. These people come and bring confusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. It's very important. In 2018, that was the last presidential election in La République du Cameroun. Mr. Biya, CPD and political party won. These people who are talking about coalition now, they had 7 years to prepare, to draft a manifesto. Those who want to come together, they had 7 years. They have waited for 7 years, no manifesto. They would have decided for 7 years, say, okay, let's form a coalition in advance and start meeting the people and campaign for 7 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in London. The next parliamentary election is 2029. They can call it before because it's up to the Prime Minister. But the next one, they always have 5-year term, although they can call it in. The Prime Minister can decide and call it any day. But after 5 years, you must go for another parliamentary election in the United Kingdom. But you see, people already, they have started preparing themselves. People like Nigel Farage, his party, they take more than 4 years to prepare. But in the Cameroons, these lazy people, they have sat there, some of them, they were in government. When they say there's an election, the same people who have been in coalition with the CPDM, they are coming out. Oh, I'm an opposition now. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no opposition in the Cameroons. The law does not recognize opposition. The law only says you can form a political party or a group. That's what the law of Cameroon says. So they call themselves political party. They are not really political party. If you're a political party, you'll be talking like Maître Mola Alexis non-stop, every day, scrutinizing the government, talking about different policy. Every day, you don't wait when election comes, you put yourself. That's not a political party. If you look at all Western countries, political parties, they are always active. Now, political parties in the United Kingdom, they have gone for recession. Why? They have each party, they are going to have a party conference. Every year, they have party conference. That is where they draft their manifesto, talk about policies. One dictator doesn't come and say, I'll do this, I'll do this. No. You consult with members of the parties and you come up with a manifesto, you give it, they draft it. It's not because you're a presidential election, you come alone. I'll give you this, I'll give you this. That's not how a political party functions. You have a party conference, you have a policy department, people suggest things, you gather all of it, then you go and draft a manifesto. That's how you do it. If you come and you're talking on your own, that I will do this, I will do this, it means it's about you. Politics of personality court. None of these people, they have never sat for the last 7 years to consult their people and come up with a manifesto. They are not different like Mr. Bia. What looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to ramble about something which is very important. I want to see this thing because we of British Southern Cameroon, we are second-class citizens. I know some people say, I'm not a second-class citizen. Please go and check the meaning of second-class citizen in your dictionary. Second-class citizen is an English word. It means a person that belongs to a social or political group whose rights and opportunity are inferior to the dominant group. So we are the minority British Southern Cameroon. La Republique du Cameroun are the dominant group. Their rights are more superior than us. It's a fact. Since that country was created, how many people from British Southern Cameroon have been president, Minister of Finance? I'm just giving you an example about government jobs. Sonara, which is in the land of my birth. All those things. It could go in other things. It must not be only ministerial posts. You see, that's what I'm talking about. And the reason I'm talking about these things, I've never seen a country that you appoint ministers based on where you come from. I saw somebody was talking, I'm not sure, one of these CPDM people. Oh, this minister of transport, he has constructed road from where he comes from. He is a minister of transport in La Republique du Cameroun. So he has to look about the transport system in all the Cameroons. But in the Cameroons, they believe that a minister is doing the job of a member of parliament. Minister is in the entire country. They don't even know the difference. Then an MP, because they don't have MP, they have members of National Assembly, is different. That's why they don't go and debate things in parliament. So then an MP should have constituency. But the constitution of La Republique du Cameroun says everyone, every parliamentarian is what does it say, the constitution? Every parliamentarian belongs to the nation. No, ladies and gentlemen, parliamentarians belong to constituency. The reason we have parliamentarians is because, example, if I'm the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I don't know what is happening in Liverpool, Manchester, all those places, different parts of Scotland or this. So you have these local people, they vote them as members of parliament. They are the one who watch what is happening in their constituency. Then they come to parliament, they talk because the Prime Minister is not there. And sometimes this member of parliament, they can invite Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, during Prime Minister question time, I would like you to visit my constituency to come and see this. The Prime Minister will go there. That's how it works. But in the Cameroon, we don't see the MP, we don't see the senator. All of them, they are just picture like Mr. Bia. Picture members of parliament, picture senators. That's how it works there. But ladies and gentlemen, today, I've come to look at these comparative studies that La Republique, they have been trying to put that narrative to us that we are regions, that we have never been a country because we are not independent, or we're not independent. That's what they are saying. But my point is, none of them cannot come and sit on a public forum. Let's have this debate and talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my point. I'll give you two examples, one in Europe and one in Africa. People who sign an act of union, a union treaty. One part of the country is what? Minority, the other one is majority. Nothing changed. Okay. When I was in primary school, ladies and gentlemen, St. Pius School, Boya Station, I used to hear about something they call Senegambia. I was very young then. Primary school. Senegambia, we say, oh, Senegal and Gambia, they have come together. I did not even really know what it meant, but at least when I look now, I understand what was Senegambia. Two countries came together in 1992. And the union lasted from what? 1992 to 1989. They say what? When there was a coup in Gambia, a military coup in 1981. So the leader of Gambia said, oh, I want to join with Senegal so that at least we can join our army together and our economy. They agree. What did they do? They signed something. Let me call it Act of Union, Union Treaty. They signed something and become one. Senegal and Gambia became what? Senegambia. They signed. But after 1989, it was, I'm sure, 30th September 1989, the union collapsed. They dissolved it. Why? Because they have disagreement over further union. Disagreement over further union. Independence or no independence, La Republique du Cameroun and British Cameroon, we came together. No act of union. This one, they had an act of union. No? We with La Republique, there was no act of union. We don't have act of union, no treaty. Okay, let's assume that there's no treaty. Even in English law, even if there's no treaty, why were we coming together with La Republique du Cameroun? To maintain our two identity. You don't need to, in England, you don't always need to have a written contract. If I lend you money and you say, oh, it was not written down, it doesn't matter whether it was never written down. I don't need to write it on a paper. There's written and unwritten contract. So let's assume that we came together with La Republique. Because the argument is that they say we were not a country. I've seen people who taught in the university, they were saying we were not a country. Before I proceed, I want to say Senegal and Gambia, after the disagreement, they dissolve it. Marriage not be by force. The union not be free worker. They said they had further agreement to do certain things because they could not agree on over further union. They say, okay, let's go back to our separate way, everybody go. But La Republique, na by force. La Republique na by force. Even if there was no act of union, we came together to maintain our separate identity. Even in England and Scotland, in 1707, more than 300 years ago, they had their separate parliament, separate country. They say, let's dissolve the parliament and let's have a single political entity, a centralized form of government. So they dissolved their both parliaments, they dissolved it. They came together inside United Kingdom. Centralized form of government. La République du Cameroun, British Cameroon joined La République du Cameroun. Okay, we dissolve our parliaments. We agree that we should have a single political entity. No problem. It's not working again. We say we don't want it. If it's not working, Scotland said it's not working. What happened? They gave Scotland its parliament back. Scotland have got its parliament back. Before they joined them, Scotland had a separate parliament. England had a separate parliament. Before we joined La République du Cameroun, British Cameroon had a separate parliament. La République du Cameroun have separate. What's the difference? Before Gambia joined Senegal, Gambia had a separate parliament, separate government, and Senegal had a separate parliament, a separate government. So I don't understand why La République think that is unique, that they think they can annex us. That's what I don't understand. If it's not working, it is not working. One, I like to call my professor, Bipung Jean-Marie. He taught me constitutional law in Guakele, the then Yaoundé University. I studied constitutional law first in the Cameroon. My lecturer, Professor Bipung Jean-Marie, that was a question, actually, later. That was a question in exam. Later, was it a political authority, a permanent territory, and a government? Have you heard anything called independence there in the definition of a state? No. There's nothing there like independent. That's why Scotland is a country and it's not independent, it's in the United Kingdom. So, what is the argument? Why is La République du Cameroun thinks that we cannot have our own identity? They call us region today, when we can never be region. I'll get there. I'll get there. So, 4 countries are where? In the United Kingdom. In order to be a country, what do you need? A territory, a permanent population, and a government. So, if you look at British Southern Cameroon, we had what? A government, a political authority. Because you need a government that you need to govern, you exercise your power. We had Dr. Endeli. He was exercising power, enforcing laws in our permanent international territory. La République du Cameroun to had different. Then you need a permanent population because people need to inhabit the land. We had people of British Southern Cameroon, La République du Cameroun, they have their own people. Then we have a permanent territory because we have to live there. Then population too have to live there. That's the definition of a country. I learned that way in Guakele by my professor. I'm sure he was even member of Paul Bia's constitutional committee. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe Professor Bipung Jean-Marie. That was my lecturer. So he taught me constitutional law, what is a country in the Cameroons. I came to the United Kingdom. I still study constitutional and administrative law. It's still the same definition. It doesn't change. When we want to talk, La République says, "Le Cameroun est indivisible." That's not what we are talking about. You cannot take away our identity and want us to live. They keep on making mistakes and say we are regions, ladies and gentlemen. And you need a functional government. That's what I was talking. What's a functional government? You need what? Legislature, judiciary, and executive. We had all those things. La République had its own. We had separate. Senegambia had their own. Senegal had their own. Gambia had their own. Scotland had their own parliament. England had their own parliament. They came together. It wasn't working. Then they separated the parliament again. Northern Ireland, the same. Wales, the same. So I don't understand a system that people will agree and come together. Somebody say, no, you need to go anywhere. What a system. There's nothing on earth that you can agree on that you can never say, oh, I don't want it back. The people of British Southern Cameroon, they voluntarily joined La Republique. Nobody forced them. If I voluntarily marry, I can say, you married on too much, I walk out. Nobody can force you. You cannot take gun. And most of you don't read. Fam don't go ahead, you say you are intelligent. Gregor Oona. Go and read Article 65 of your Constitution. The United Nations Charter is part and parcel of the Constitution. It says, we have a right to self-determination. If I want to say, I want to quit the union, I want to remain in the union, that article gives me the right. You cannot be calling people that secessionists. Yes, I'm against people using arms. I believe politics is alternative to war. I believe we can organize ourselves and take most seats in Northwest and Southwest and decide on what we want to do. It is our choice if we want to remain with La Republique or we want to leave. It is our choice. You can't stop it. We had our legislature, executive, and judiciary. That was a country. We are managing our own affair. We enact our own laws. Got nothing to do with you. That was a country. One important point that I would like to talk about is that the government of La Republique du Cameroun wants to make us to look like region. This is the policy of British Cameroon National Party. We believe in order to make sure that La Republique does not marginalize us, in order to make sure that a Betty man does not marginalize a Pulu man, in order to make sure that a Banso man does not marginalize a Wum person or Kambe or a Bayangi man marginalizing a person from Widikum, I'm just calling random names. We have to accept our identity. British Southern Cameroon, whatever name we call it, doesn't matter. We'll decide on that time, but it's an identity. People. La Republique du Cameroun, whether you change your name 20 times, identity, people. Then the next thing, because Northwest and Southwest region is rubbish, I'll tell you what it is. All the ethnicity, they have to be regions. All the ethnicity, they have to be regions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what is region. We are different. You see London now. As there's a town, a village, a city grows, it mix up. Maybe in how many years' time, people will not be talking about Banso will be like London, maybe Boya. You see Douala as it is. I grew up in Boya. We had different people all over the world. There's no difference when I was growing up in Boya. There's Metakwata, Yangikwata, Hausa, everything, Bakwere were mixed when I was growing up. So when town grows, it changes. But as things stand, we have to protect minority. So all the ethnicity, they have to be regions. Then we have to recognize the two countries that came together. That is the only solution. Some people always say, oh, Anglophones. Among Anglophones, another Anglophones, they will dominate another Anglophones. That's the danger. So we can agree that we are Anglophone, they are Scottish, or they are English, but all the tribes have to be autonomous. We have different custom and tradition. What we have in common as Anglophone, that's what we'll be debating in our parliament, which is educational system, judiciary, policing, transport, the things that we have it different from La Republique. So, region is not joining another region, all the ethnicities. If we keep on behaving the way we are behaving in the Cameroons, we will never have new villages, will not turn into cities or town. Because if you go, they say region, everything in Northwest region, maybe it's mostly Bamenda. You go to most places, even in La Republique du Cameroun, most places is the capital. But the people in the interior of all those villages, they are entitled to electricity, water, good hospital, everything. Even La Republique Constitution says the resources of the country shall be distributed to each individual. They did not even say town or tribe. But we know that when they do things mostly in, I give example, Northwest, most of the thing ends in Bamenda, Mankon. Then the other people suffer in the villages. Gaddafi developed his country because he was distributing the resources to the the tribes. So, example, the reason we are saying tribes could be what, like local authority. They have different local. The bigger the tribe, the more local authority that tribe will have. In London, we have so many local authority in London. So if it's a big city, example like Douala, they will have more local authority. If it's a small village, their own is smaller. That's how. So that each village should be developed. When we keep on making these so-called funny regions in the Cameroon, the villages, they will suffer. They will never turn into town forever and forever. When you have money, you distribute it to the regions. When the regions, the local regions to the villages, the villagers, they should decide if they want a road, airport, water, hospital, give their own budget. But when you give budget to a minister, the minister will take that budget and embezzle it and send a little to the governor, and it will never reach those localities. There is something called in the UK, the Barnett formula. That is a formula that an independent committee sat and decided how they should distribute wealth in this country. But that have never happened in the Cameroons. One person will sit in a 2D and say, this should go to this side womb, places that the person have never been there in their life. To stop this corruption, we don't mind in British Southern Cameroon, they should be electing, we should have a parliamentary system. So before, whether it's the prime minister or whoever wants to appoint somebody, the people locally of whether it's a village or town, they have said, this is the person who is going to represent me. And people will put people that they know they are working hard in the village. Not somebody who will go and stay in Yaoundé or Douala. During election, he goes to the village once and go back to Yaoundé or Douala. You are not representing the people. All members of parliament in the United Kingdom, they have homes, houses in their constituency. They have offices there. They always go there, they consult, talk to the people. But members of parliament in the Cameroons, they don't have offices. Ministers in the Cameroons, they are appointing them based on, oh, this region, you send this person. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not regions. We should allow the people to start by selecting members of parliament who will become ministers based on their experience. Ladies and gentlemen, if I should ask you a question, and I will answer that question, is England, is Scotland, is Wales, is Northern Ireland, are they a sovereign countries? The answer is no. England is a constituent country. Wales is a constituent country. Scotland is a constituent country. And Northern Ireland is a constituent country. A constituent country is a country which have got all the characteristics of a country, but they have given some of the sovereignty, like they have the same foreign affair, they have military, so you have given some of your sovereignty. Sovereignty is about supreme power to do everything without any outside interference. So all these four countries in the United Kingdom, they are constituent countries. That's how you call it. Because they have surrendered some of their powers. So we and La République du Cameroun, we could have, or we should have been, a constituent country. We would have decided that, okay, we have our own different English institution, we have that one, they have their own. Okay, maybe we have one army, maybe we have the same foreign policy. That's a constituent country. But La République du Cameroun and France annex us. Then they gave some of their sovereignty to France. They gave away their central bank. They allowed them, they allowed France to start manufacture their money. We had our own money. I don't know where our money is, why we are not using our own. So they allow France to manufacture their money, to determine their money supply, determine their interest rate. So they don't have complete control in La République du Cameroun because they have given away some of their sovereignty. A foreign country is controlling it now. So La République du Cameroun have joint sovereignty. So these are things they will never teach you in your school. I'm thinking outside the box. They will never teach you what I'm saying in the university. So, okay. What is a region? Because we have 12 regions in the United Kingdom. That country called England is further divided in what? 9 regions, England. But they're all English people. So, La République du Cameroun, which is a country, they further divided La République du Cameroun to what? 7 regions. British Southern Cameroon further divided to what? 2 regions. That's how England is too. Then Welsh, 1 region. Scotland is 1 region. Their population is small. It's based on population. And Wales, 1 region. Okay. What is region now? Regions are for statistical purposes and administrative purpose. 2. I'm talking that's region. For statistics and administrative purpose. So when you see people in the Cameroons, somebody when you say, I'm a Southwesterner, it means you're saying I'm an administrative purpose. I'm a Northwesterner, it means you say I'm an administrative purpose. That's what you're saying. You cannot be a Northwesterner, you cannot be a Southwesterner. You're your ethnicity or your country. You're either British Southern Cameroonian or you're your tribe. Bayangi, Bakweri, Banso, Nkambe, your tribe, Badibo. That's what you are. Douala. You're either La République du Cameroun or you're Bulu. That's how it works. But they have chopped us in the Cameroons. That's why we are not clever in that country. Because they have made us, how can they take a whole human being, Homo sapiens, and make them to believe, to think that they are administration? In future, even now as I speak, British Southern Cameroon, as the population is increasing, they can be having more region, more region, more region. That's how it is. In future, England can have more region, that's it. But in future, you cannot have more Bakweri, more Banso. You always remember Banso forever, till thy kingdom come. You always remember Bulu forever, till thy kingdom come. But you can increase region. So you cannot be a region. Today, they can take Southwest region in La République du Cameroun, they break it into 4. Pobia village south, their population is not up to Northwest, that is almost 5 times that population. So how do they, if you ask me, how do they do regions in Cameroon? How do they calculate it? I don't know. Because for me, Fako should be a region. Other parts should be a region. Northwest should be a region based on the population. But it doesn't change the fact that we are a country. 2 countries that came together. And you see, if I go and tell somebody in England, I'm from Northwest, they will laugh at me because England too have Northwest. They have Southwest. London is 1 region. Humberland, there's one region. Yorkshire region. So region is something that you can change it. But when you're a Barbarian, you cannot change it. When you're a man from Saw, you cannot change it. These are things that our educational system in the Cameroon is full of lies because they don't want you to know the truth, ladies and gentlemen. They lie. If you give me a curriculum to teach in the university in the Cameroon, I'll take the paper, I'll tear it like this. Then I decide on the curriculum because what they are teaching you is made up of lies. That's why in the Cameroons, they waste time to teach you Napoleon Bonaparte, Hitler, Weller first, because they don't want you to study your own history. They want to hide their own history from you. They don't want you to know that the people of British Southern Cameroon, they're a country. Even Senegambia, people who had a treaty, we are joining because we want one economic and one army. After they disagree, further disagreement of the union, they say no. 1992, when I was in primary school, they have Senegambia. They came together. 1989, they say no, bye-bye. On the 30th September, we go our separate way. Easy. No problem. No war. No talking about Senegambia is one and indivisible. England and Scotland, under the Union Act 1707, 300 years ago. Okay, dissolve your parliament. Let's have a single centralized political entity. But don't take away my culture. Don't annex me. They came together. They are still together today. After some time, they have treaty that they signed. Scotland say, I don't tire me, I go me. I don't want them again. They say, okay, government, central government say, okay, we'll give you back your parliament. They gave them back their parliament. Some Scottish people say, no, They gave them parliament, Scottish National Party. The first party that won the decentralization, the parliament there, was the Labour Party under Tony Blair. After that, Scottish National Party, a party that wants independence, came and they had majority of the seats. They still have majority. I'm sure next year they have another election again in the Scottish Parliament. So, although they are majority, they say, no, our aim is still independence. So, I'm sure is it David Cameron gave them a referendum, either to be independent or to remain here. 55% say, we're going to remain for inside United Kingdom. 45% say, we want to go. So, they are still, Scotland is still here. But La Republique will tell you, say, no, Cameroon be one and indivisible. Cameroon be, what is that all about? Democracy. All you need to do, La Republique du Cameroon. Those who want independence, they should be doing politics and fighting for parliamentary seat. You, those people who don't want, they call it unionists. Whether you're federalist, you're still unionist. You want to stay together. We put election, we campaign. That's how you do it. And if you are not dictatorial, because the reason a lot of people in British Southern Cameroon, they don't want to be with La Republique, is the way you're running the country. France is controlling us. You don't care about Anglophone institution. Anglophones, they cannot climb the ladder. You discriminate against Anglophone. When we want to talk, it's just human. We say, oh, I come from this place that discriminated against us too. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about discrimination based on your identity. It's different from the form of a state. So you people can not be fooling people. You go around killing people in La Republique. You go and kill people in Northwest and Southwest. Ladies and gentlemen, most of those people who kidnap for ransom, I've said it time and again, they are criminals. The word criminal is clear. If you want independence, you don't go around kidnapping people. If you go and commit a criminal offense, they call you criminal. You don't call him separatist. So government want to label the people who want independence. You don't need independence. Independence must not come by using war. Czechoslovakia, they separated peacefully. So you can be a separatist, as some of you call it, which is not a separatist, because it's the government of La Republique du Cameroun that separated in 1982 by changing the name United Republic of Cameroon. So La Republique government is a separatist. So, but my point is, somebody can advocate, it's a political opinion, Article 65 right, for independence without using violence. You can use political means. Scottish National Party is using political means. Green Party wants independence in Scotland. They use political party. So stop labeling people. When somebody commits a crime, kill people, kidnap for them, call them criminals. Stop saying that they want independence. If somebody is kidnapping for ransom, it's a crime. So that your game that you label people separatists, I don't buy it. Me, Maitre Mola Alex Ndeveli Singer, I've been fighting for the right to self-determination. For me, politics is not hate. I have family, blood relative in La Republique du Cameroun. They are my family. I don't have problem with them. But what I'm doing is my political opinion. We should distinguish those things. You don't need to agree with me about my right to self-determination, Article 65 right. It is my right. You don't need to like it. Those of you who want to remember La Republique, it's your business. Exercise your own right. The right to self-determination could be internal, it could be external. If you want a unionist government, exercise your right to self-determination by always vote to remain with them. Those of us who are tired of a country run by France that is not independent, a country that surrendered its independence to France and sovereignty in 1959. We don't want to be part of that country. I don't want somebody to stay in France and be controlling my money supply, determining my interest rate, determining if they will devalue money. Why should a European sit, manufacture my money there? When did we have that agreement? When? When did we have that agreement that France should be making our money? I mean La République du Cameroun and British Cameroon. If La République du Cameroun, we were the one forcing our pound sterling on you, if we were the one forcing our ENAM, gendarmerie, ENS, military travel on you, think that way. Scotland and England, they are in United Kingdom. Scotland still have a different Scottish culture. The Scottish culture is different from English culture. They have their own different church. Scottish people. England have different church. They have a different legal system. But they have been in that union 300 years ago. La République du Cameroun and British Cameroon, we have been together just for about a little bit above 60 years. But Scotland and England, that they have been for more than 300 years. Some Scottish people, they have a party. They say they still want to go. Then what about you? La République, we haven't even been that long. Then some of you start lying now. Oh, the German Cameroon. How can a Portuguese slave plantation be a country? Rio dos Cameros. It was not a country. When we came together as a country headed by Dr. Endeli and a country headed by Amadou Ahidjo. When it was Portuguese sugar plantation, it was not a country. When it was under the Germans, it was not a country. When the English, they partitioned it among themselves, it was not a country. When Dr. Endeli became prime minister, he had a political authority, territory, and a population. Ahidjo became prime minister in La République, had a political authority, territory, and a population. So we should stop fooling people. You can fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the times. Now we see in the light. We are going to go peacefully, and we are using your own law. There is a political party in South Africa. It's made up of this Munzungu in Cape Zit. They have already started their party. They are using the same article that I'm using, Article 235 of South African Constitution, Section 235, the right to self-determination. Why are they not killing them in South Africa? Why? It's only us, Africans, black skin, that would like killing people. Politics is doing what I'm doing. I'm doing my politics. You don't need to like it. If I have my 1 or 10 or 2 members or disciples, that's politics. Go and do your own. I am speaking to the voters now and the future voters. Don't waste your time that election. Don't die for other people. La République du Cameroun, they will start fighting themselves. Then we'll just shift like Somaliland. Let's get ready. Let's start getting ready peacefully. When La Republique du Cameroun, they start fight their fight, we just block Mongo. What I will take na elephant stock, we block and they will say, una keep down and fight for it. When una be join we, now una be the fight, una call people the Makiza, una join France, una the kill NS Wandi, Nyobe, Felix Mumi. Now una fight, they can start against more time. British Southern Cameroon, we not there for una fight. We are not part of una fight. We not hate una. Any man we like, when una fight start, if you come, we go give you refugee status for British Southern Cameroon. We go look after you. But we know one day under France. We no go agree. We no go agree. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day. This has been Metro Mola Alex Ndiveli Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party, the party that wants to use democratic right, Article 65 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroun, and be independent from France, have our sovereignty from France. We live in a country that they have the money is only in French. They keep on lying us that we are bilingual, but they don't know we are multilingual. We have our ethnicity, our ethnic languages. Those are languages. We are multilingual. We are not bilingual. And we are going to make sure that they will teach all the dialects or languages everywhere. If it's in Fako, they will teach Bakweri. If it's in Bamso, they will teach Lanso. If it's Kejomkeku, they will teach that everywhere. Why do we want our languages to disappear? Black man, common sense is not common. Let common sense prevail. We have to preserve those languages. That's another policy. So have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.